Weapon reworks are something I really enjoy doing in Terraria, and after adding weak points to spears last month, I wanna give another weapon a try. Flail attacks can be divided into 3 states. The first one happens when holding the left click, and has the mace spinning around the player. It is decent early game, but just like most true melee playstyles, loses in viability pretty fast and sees little use outside of some cheesy strategies that often get patched, such as the fated Bacnax, which could be used to slay Panthera extremely fast and got heavily nerfed in 1.4, or abusing worm bosses like the Destroyer. Being frank though, there are so many ways to annihilate this boss that this can't even be considered as a perk. This attack method can still see some use against fighter type enemies that can take knockback, but even there, ranged weapons are safer and oftentimes better. Releasing the left click launches the flail forward. All flails go in a straight line for a while before retracting, and this can be used to hit and miss twice in most cases, giving flails a mid-range use style that's a lot more viable than spinning them in almost every situation and is what makes them usable against bosses at all. At any point while launching or retracting, it is possible to left click again and have the flail land on the ground until the player gets too far or releases the button. This is a cool mechanic, but it has very little practical uses outside of, again, dealing with worm bosses and fighter enemies. My take on a rework for this subclass will focus on making the true melee part of the attacks more viable, that is the spin your style. See, the melee class is called as such even though its viable weapons are those relying on ranged projectiles, such as the new swords or to some extent yo-yos. My goal is, just like the spear rework, to make the subclass more viable while keeping the melee class melee. I added charge bar to flails. It takes a total of 5 seconds to load while spinning the flail, and a fully charged attack will deal 200% damage. To compensate, non-charged flail attacks will only deal half damage. This means every third of the charge bar increases the damage dealt by 50%, and the first third of the charge deals normal damage. The states after launching the flail, which are retracting and lingering on the ground, also have their damage reduced by 50%, but only increased by up to 75% at full charge for a total of 125%. Melee hits with the flail charge the bar faster, which rewards landing it in close range before launching the flail when retreating or when the enemy gets out of range. Charge does not increase spin hits damage however, yet. Flails are now a lot better at dealing with boss minions such as Servant of Tulu or Biz before attacking the boss itself. They are also just as good if not better at dealing with worm bosses due to their increased damage at full charge. Unlike spears, which have a clear flag in their code to indicate their weapon type and help with compatibility, flails do not have any. This means modded compatibility has to be done on a case-by-case basis, by whitelisting flail projectiles to work with my system. If you are a developer and know a solution, please contact me. In the meantime, I added compatibility for the Terraria Mods, and I'm open to adding new popular mods to the list if people ask, or implement mod calls for other developers to do it themselves. A reworked subclass means new accessories to go with it, and just like with the spear rework, I added a new crafting tree to look for. Starting off with the Goblin Grease, which can be obtained from Goblin warriors during their invasion, or bought from the Tinkerer in hard mode so you're not stuck in the recipes due to bad luck during an event. It increases flail charge speed by 25%. This charge boost also affects melee hits with flails, and will help launch powerful attacks more often. Next up is the Ember Carving, which is crafted with embers and sturdy fossils at an anvil. It increases flail charge damage by 50%, and this multiplier might not work as you'd expect right off the bat. Taking a max charge attack for example, it will go from dealing 50 plus 150% damage for a total of 200% to 50 plus 150 times 1.5, leading to 275% damage instead of the expected 300%. Only the damage added by the charge is increased by this multiplier, which is something I did on purpose for 2 reasons. I don't want endgame numbers to reach too high amounts, especially since flails at this point deal a lot of damage upfront. I also want to reward melee hits from spinning the flails, and as such, charge damage multipliers also increase the damage dealt by spinning attacks, meaning a 50% increase will increase the damage from 100 to 150% as the bar charges. This makes flails super powerful if you can stick to enemies for a long duration, potentially a lot more than the weapons, but again, the close range and risks that come with it makes up for it. Alright, no more numbers I promise. These 2 accessories can be combined into the Ember Grease, fitting all their stats into a single slot. It is possible to equip laser versions of a given accessory, but this is possible with any vanilla accessory, and I don't think this will cause balance issues. The Ember Grease can be combined with an Avenger emblem for added stats. The Mechanical Grease totals 80% increased charge damage and 30% charge speed. I won't make the same mistake I did with the spear mod, and give this Avenger emblem upgrade melee damage. Comments have pointed out that it was kinda overpowered for melee as a whole, as stacking melee damage increases this way can become very strong very fast. During hard mode, the subclass desperately needs some defensive options, or it won't be able to keep up with damage from enemies given its short range. Underground desert enemies can drop a Scarab Idol, which increases damage resistance by 20% and regenerates 10 life every time a fully charged Flail attack is launched. I know how strong stacking damage resistance can be. For that reason, the damage reduction is multiplicative instead of additive with player endurance. The heal is especially useful when charging and using as many fully charged attacks as possible, which happens when the player is in close range and again rewards a true melee gameplay. This accessory is extremely powerful, but I think I've been careful enough to make it a strong asset for making flails viable without being overpowered. Finally, it can be combined with the mechanical grease to get the Scarab Grease, reaching 100% bonus charge damage and 50% charge speed, along with the Scarab Idol effects. This accessory cannot be stacked with the Scarab Idol for obvious reasons. The flail weapon progression is in my opinion really fine in Terraria. There might be less of them than spears, but they are more spread out, in a way that there's always an upgrade to look for. Maybe not having 8 of them crafted with hard mod ores helps too. Still, they lacked a good endgame weapon. I reworked the Flail run to work with the mechanics implemented by the mod. It spawns bubbles while being spun, their amount increasing with the charge level. Likewise, throwing it will spawn a large amount of bubbles at higher levels of charge. It is a fast and accurate weapon that should definitely be able to handle the Moonlord fight and finish the game with. The anchor has also been reworked, turning it from a very lackluster early hard mode weapon to an actually usable one that's slightly under the idea of PoW in terms of DPS. It has an extremely high base damage of 220 but swings very slowly and charges twice as slow as other weapons. It is affected by gravity, making it pretty bad when used in the air. It's a fun weapon to try and get cheesy 1000 damage crits with, and becomes the best flail in the game if you want to have it linger on the ground. It is however pretty bad at dealing with bosses, and you should definitely be looking for other options when fighting something that's not the destroyer. If you have any suggestions for the mod, please share them in the comments. I'm definitely looking to update it in the future, and just like with the spear video, I will be writing down ideas. Also consider showing your appreciation to the video if you're enjoying it. Thank you.
Alright, hello everyone. 3, 2, and 1. Let's do this.
Should we just give it a go?
You might be thinking, should I throw the sphere? No. I'm just gonna spin it. Because I'm a round dogger like that. Okay, fine, I'll throw it. Boom. Insane damage.
I need to use my super fart sling on occasion to get my... He turned me to stone! He turned me to a rock! He reset my flail! What the fuck?
Let me test this thing real quick. Charge it and then boom, throw. That's huge. Stacking damage. I think I'm the best Terraria player ever. Look, I just invented a new strat. Where you can just throw the flail and then you run away.
Okay, can I like get up there and beat him up a little bit? Don't do that.
Let me hit that dog. Look at that. The bar is charged, the bar is full. And I throw. Woohoo! I drag it across his balls.
I am very bad at managing charging the flail and still damaging the boss. I'm rather low. That's okay. He's done. He's still hitting me. He's still hurting me!
Okay, right now. It kills now. Lethality. Ooh, never mind. I want it to be epic. Ooh, what the f? Oh, insane. Oh, I guess you can say the flaming maze is... Nah, I'm not gonna say the light. You gotta pay for it.
Thanks a lot for watching the video, I hope you enjoyed it. Please consider subscribing to the channel if you want to see more of my work. As always, the mod is available on the Steam Workshop, the link is in the description.